Howdy, y'all. Back today. I know it's been a long time. Yes, it has. But I wanted to show you something today. A gift that I received from my dear friend Patrick. That is Luther Manning. If you've been following my channel, you'll know that Patrick bought the lion's share of my collection and has been selling those books at some local cons recently. But this, he sent me this. I got this in the mail. It was a birthday present just a few days ago. It's a framed print of the illustration that his son did and that they had on the front of the boxes of my collection, the Dr. Bonchilla collection, to advertise the books as such. Ain't that nice? Isn't that nice? Yeah. Look at that. It's beautiful, ain't it? I hope we're not getting too much glare and all that kind of shit. But Patrick, yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you to your son as well. See the happy birthday on the back. Yes. But I thought I would also take this occasion to tell a spooky October tale. And this goes back many a year. From the summer of 1987 through the fall of 1988, I lived in an old farmhouse in Middlesex Township outside of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. It is the Chambers family farm, the Chambers family being the founders of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. It has been owned for nearly a century now by the Fenton family. And when I lived there, I had been invited to live there by a member of the Fenton family. The Appalachian Trail runs right through the property, right past the house, and it's all kind of the Appalachian Trail people, tell people stay on the trail, don't venture from the trail because you are walking through people's properties and all that. Yes. Anyway, I was invited to move into the house by my friend. We'll call him Lyman. Lyman Fenton. And there were, I guess, 4 other people living there at the time. Lyman, Ralph, we'll call them Ralph, Bill and Carol, and they had another bedroom ready to rent. Rent, is that the right? Well, I guess. And I when I first visited the house, I was in love with it. And I have this thing about old farmhouses anyway. They're just gorgeous, and outside of the city or the town, and they're just gorgeous and beautiful and wonderful. So anyway, I moved in to this old farmhouse in the summer of 1987. Well, I didn't last any longer than the fall of 1988 because I was so unnerved by the house that I just had to go. Now, behind the house, and you can view it from the Appalachian Trail, is a graveyard kind of fenced in by a wrought iron fence of the Chambers family. There's about a dozen graves back there, with headstones and all, right? And there is also a slave graveyard back there right behind the house. Okay. But let me tell you something about the house itself. The house had its own personality, its own identity, an overwhelming presence. The house was built in 1730, so it's nearly 300 years old now. The house is scary enough at nighttime. Yeah, it's a scary old farmhouse, right? But in a twist of the plot, the house was even more unsettling during the daytime. Everything seemed to settle down during the night into just sheer spookiness. But during the daytime, when the sun was streaming through the windows and everything just looked so sunny and joyous and happy, oh no. There was a threatening malevolence to the house during the daytime. And I can't possibly explain it fully unless you had actually been in the house. When you walked through the house during the daytime, it was as if something was always watching you, always judging you. And it was so unnerving to me that I moved out in the autumn of 1988 because I just couldn't take it. It was too much. It was extremely frightening. Truly it was. I did my best to live with it, just kind of try to ignore it or live with it, but I could no longer do it. My friend told me that the house or the entity that seemed to be ruling over the house was called the Kunkkus. The Kunkkus. Yeah, I'll never forget that. The Kunkkus. Well, let me tell you, the Kunkkus was very real. The other thing was only about, I moved out in the fall of 88, and in January of 89, there was a terrible fire at the house. I just happened to be there that night when the fire broke out. 4-alarm blaze, and it was the coldest night of the year. It was January of 1989. I think it was about 14 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a frigid night. But I just remember those firefighters coming through and smashing this 200-year-old glass out of these windows. Terrible. There were birds in the house, parakeets and all. They were all gone. There were 4 cats in the house. We lost all of them. Anyway, I'm telling this story because I'm quite sure, even though I haven't been in the house for 35 plus years, it remains in the Fenton family, and I am quite sure that the Kunkkus is alive and well. It was the spookiest, scariest, most unnerving place I have ever been in, and even if I were invited today, I'm not so sure I would want to go back in it, at least not on a beautiful sunny day. I might go in at night, but not with that hateful, malevolent judgment that came with being in the house during the day. Anyway, okay. October 2025. Happy Halloween, everyone. It's my favorite month of the year. It's my birthday month. And it's just beautiful here in central Pennsylvania. Just an extraordinary month. So everybody enjoy your October. I'll talk to you all soon. See you later. Bye-bye.